welcome to the City Show. Pat O Melia here, you there, concerned resident and citizen of your fine city. This week, winter's back. It was nice last week, but next week it's going to be in the 60s. So we're finally getting spring's coming. Going to get some 60-degree weather starting next week, so that'll be great. I'm sick of winter. Enough snow, enough cold. You know, today we're supposed to have, there was snow today. And we're supposed to get some heavy rain this week, maybe a little snow if it gets colder. Mayor Fulop in Jersey City is going to vaccinate. He has set aside all his COVID-19 vaccines for the teachers right now, which is like 3,500 teachers, and that's quite a bit of vaccines. There was a glitch at Ferris High School where they directed the teachers to go to get the vaccine. Something happened with a booking glitch. There's talk about hacking. I think it was just a booking glitch. So all those teachers who were inconvenienced over the weekend were set up for Monday. Stacey Flanagan's getting them all shot, so they'll be help people when the kids go back. We're looking at probably April, the last marking period of back in class. There was light at the end of this tunnel. Maybe that tunnel ends in the summer. Would be nice if we can get out from this cloud. This week, your stimulus checks should be hitting your, you might have gotten them already. But they're supposed to start hitting this week, $1,400 per adult, $1,400 a kid. That's a nice little pocket change there. You can catch up on some bills. Wouldn't hurt to save some, put some away for a rainy day. We're going to talk about that. Topics for today, there's Jersey City got $145 million, but yet we got shortchanged on that. We're going to talk about Reservoir 3 in Jersey City. We're going to talk about the political sword. When you live by it, you will eventually die by it. This is a story that won't go away. And we'll talk about some quick hits. The Bob Menendez is coming back to Jersey City and so forth. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. You're watching The City Show. Talking to the guys here, Jonathan and Michael. Jonathan is running the board for the show today. Mike is over there working on Spanish versions of announcements for North Bergen. We do them. You can see them on our YouTube channel. Jersey City got $175 million. That's like a lottery hit. And we should be happy. But yet, there's that cloud that always hangs over us. We got shortchanged to the tune of $37 million. Jersey City got $145 million. This is from the $1.9 trillion American COVID relief package. Newark got $182 million. Now, we are basically the same size cities. Probably population-wise, we may have overtaken them. Had to see what the final census is. They got $37 million more than us. Well, what I understand, it had to do with a formula. Every time I hear there's a formula that's used, it's a bad witch's brew when it comes to Jersey City. And I don't care what formula we're talking about, whether it's a federal formula with the stimulus relief money, whether it's a state formula for school funding, whether it's the county formula for the county taxes, we always wind up on the short end of that formula. It's a bad formula when it comes to Jersey City. It never fails. We always get shortchanged. What I understand on how the money is broken down between the municipalities and state, and when it comes to the municipalities here, had to do with poverty rates. And I guess there's more poverty in Newark than there is in Jersey City. So thank you, Newport, downtown Jersey City. You brought our poverty rate up. Well, I guess upward it would be, right? So we got shortchanged $37 million. What, $145 million? That ain't bad. That's like lottery money. That's like you hit the mega, which someday I would like to hit the mega or Powerball. What does Jersey City do with $145 million? I don't know when you get it. It's nice to say you're going to get it, but when you're going to get it is a whole nother tune. It wasn't ACH into the city's bank account this week. Actually, I'll keep checking with Philip to find out when we get it. I don't know if they do that like the stimulus check. You know, one morning I pull up check in the city bank account, and I'm, whoa, 145, that's a lot of zeros. What did the city do with $145 million? Well, first, you got to reimburse the city for all the money it laid out with the COVID expenses, you know, or from vaccines to the testing to the PPE to everything Fulop did, and he did a great job to keep the city afloat and keep the city safe during the pandemic. Wouldn't hurt to use some of the money for delinquent mortgage payments and rents. You know, I know there's a lot of programs out there that I know Mayor Fulop has done quite a bit with helping people with rent. You really got to help some of the landlords too, because they have mortgages and taxes. When we just continued the rent hike freeze in Jersey City. That's fine, but the problem is we didn't freeze any of the expenses for the landlords. And not all, every time they talk about the landlords, always talking about the high rises and the billion-dollar corporations that own these buildings. In Jersey City, most of the landlords are mom and pop. You know, they're 2, 3 family buildings, and when those people aren't paying the rent, and again, not their fault, the COVID happened, they can't make the mortgage payments, they can't make the property tax payment, they can't make insurance payments, they can't pay the water and sewer. You know, all that builds up. So it would not hurt to help the mortgages. You know, there's still foreclosures going on if you don't make your mortgage payments. You can't get evicted for not paying your rent, but you can lose your house for not paying your mortgage. So assistance should be there. It wouldn't hurt to help homeowners with past due property taxes instead of running numerous pages in the Jersey Journal for liens. Fulop is going to discover he has a lot of new friends. They're going to have a lot of ideas on how to spend that money. It wouldn't hurt to save some of it for the future. Fulop's done a great job during the pandemic. We're not reeling from the expenses. We're not living hand to mouth here. Fulop's done a great job. I know people are going to call for this. For the children, send it to the schools. No. Do not send it to the black hole that is the Jersey City school budget. For that matter, there was a meeting, a Zoom meeting about fully funding the school budget. Before we do that, we got to find out what the school budget is and how much of it can we cut? Can we get some? You know, there's a pandemic. The economy is going to take a while to recover. The school just running as if nothing changed. Fulop announced he's going to be building a new North District soon. Maybe some of the money could be used for that. I like where Fulop said, the mayor said, well, it will free up parking on the streets because the cops won't have to park their cars out on Central Avenue anymore. Neglected to mention he's building it on a Jersey City owned parking lot. The city, and if we're going to spend it, you can never go wrong with seniors and kids. But I really would like to see the city save some of that. All right, we're breaking for commercial. You watching the City Show? I'll be right back.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, located right off of NJ 440 North. Across the Hudson Mall is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. Check out Ford's latest models like the 2020 Ford Fusion with its stylish looks and hybrid options, or the unparalleled high-performance 2020 Ford Mustang. The 2020 Ford F-150 Raptor is ready for those rugged off-road terrains with trail control. Need a mid-sized truck for your towing and hauling? The 2020 Ford Ranger will deliver. The 2020 Ford Escape is a luxury SUV that was made for comfort and adventure on the go. Returning is Ford's legendary Bronco, which takes you back to the true meaning of off-roading. They are now available for pre-order in our showroom or on our website. Let us help you find your next vehicle. Stevens Jersey City Ford, 201-432-7272.
We're back. City Show. Pat O Melia here. Remember all that stuff on the bottom of the screen? You get in touch with us. Love us on Facebook. Like us on YouTube and all that stuff. Reservoir 3 on Central Avenue and also on Summit Avenue. They're between Jefferson and Manhattan Avenue. You also got Persian Field there. It has been part of Jersey City law forever. There used to be 3 of them. That's why we have Reservoir 3. There was a Reservoir 1 and 2, but those were drained and they were built upon. I think St. Joseph's Home of the Blind is on Reservoir 2, I think. Since there was a time during the Healy administration when there was a possibility of selling Reservoir 3 and building condominiums or residential units, and everybody got up in arms over that, and that idea was defeated. Mayor Healy eventually dedicated the land to open space, and it would always be the reservoir. It would be our sort of Central Park. Good idea, but Reservoir 3 is basically an industrial site. It was never intended for people to roam around and suck up nature in there. That was never intended. And since Mayor Healy, I guess we'll say, saved Reservoir 3 from development, the city hasn't put in a dime. The county has put some money in there, but the city never put in anything. I mean, there was so much as a park bench. And again, this is an industrial site. You see the picture there, it looks nice. But it is very hard to transverse. So you want to walk around there. There's no paths, there's no benches, there's no guardrails, there's no lighting. There is nothing. It's an industrial site. Really, it's unruly land with water in the middle. The city has decided to finally do some upgrades. I don't know if Mayor Fulop will use some of the $145 million. I would rather he didn't. Save at least half of that for a rainy day. We need some major safety upgrades, and they're needed, and they're way overdue. Like I said, going back with Healy, that's got to be at least 12 years ago, and nothing has really changed in there. During the Healy administration, I believe they tried to drain Reservoir 3. There was not everybody was on board with saving it. But now Mayor Fulop he came out with a plan. You'll see some of the pictures here. First thing first, safety has to be the utmost. And what do you see? ADA access here. It has to be ADA compliant. You have to have walkways, wide walkways where you can enjoy the area. You're not walking over gravel. You're not walking over dirt and vegetation. The only pathway in there is pathways that, over time, people kept walking back and forth and created a pathway. It has to be ADA. You're going to have it that you can put a wheelchair in there. You can run a Jazzy in there, those motorized scooters the seniors use. Seniors should be able to walk through there. Right? You really can't walk through there. You take a guy with bum knees like me, I can't walk through there anymore. So you need the pathways. You need benches along the pathways where people can sit and enjoy. There's no place to sit in there. There are no benches. There's none of that. So you need the walkways. You need benches there. You need lighting. The mayor's talking about putting in like 160 lights, all like boulder rod kind of deals with the lights on top. Probably picture, there we go, lighting. Long overdue. It gets dark in there. You put the lighting in there, put the CCTV in there. Remember, this is now going to be open. And right now they're closing those gates, but eventually it's going to be open to the public, probably until like 10 o'clock like the rest of our parks. Like that pathway I'm talking about, walkways, the lights will be along the walkway. You'll have nice benches. It'll be user-friendly if we follow Mayor Fulop's plan here. Now, many at the Reservoir 3 organization aren't on board with the upgrades here. They would pretty much rather keep it the way it is. That's not going to work. You should light the perimeter of the water. You might even want to put railing around the water so kids don't fall in, or from a safety standpoint. There is absolutely no safety in Reservoir 3. There's nothing. Like I said, it's an industrial site. Like I said, it wouldn't hurt to have railing around the water. Renovate the buildings. I think it's called the pump house. Renovate that. You can put like vending machines in there, so people can get a soda, a bag of chips or whatever. repoint and repair the walls. I had the studio on Central Avenue. Huge blocks of the wall were missing. You could see where vegetation and water were loosening the walls. That has to be repointed. Remove and replant the vegetation, because that's what's destroying the walls, that and water seepage. Reservoir 3's got to be user-friendly. It has to be safe, so everybody in Jersey City can enjoy it. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to be prepared for your emergency.
We promise to provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We promise to treat you like family.
To provide accurate diagnostic care.
To provide the most innovative orthopedic care at your doorsteps.
We promise to treat your baby like our own.
To never stop investing in the best of spinal care.
To be with you every step of the way.
Here at Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to take care of our community.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend. Pan & Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panandpintoproperties.com. Pan & Pinto Properties. Building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back, City Show. Pat O Melia here. You there? The political sword. Now, we kind of talked about this last week. It's not going to go away anytime soon because a very small minority of Hudson County committee people or Hudson County progressive Dems don't want it to go away. Abolishing the party lines. New Jersey is pretty much the only state that has these party lines, you know, column A, column B, row A, that sort of thing. The Jersey City Council, and only our council could do this, they passed a resolution sponsored by James Solomon and Ward A. It was voted 2 yeses, yes votes, yeas, 4 abstain, and 3 council people were absent. So this resolution passed with 2 votes. The 2 that passed it, James Solomon and Rolando Lavarro, are 2 that are kind of like bucking the system. Both of them are looking at a long road to re-election, probably more for Lavarro than for James Solomon. James Solomon will be the focus of Team Fulop. Lavarro, we're not sure what Lavarro's doing. He's talking about running for mayor. He won't run for at-large. He's doomed if he does that. I will predict now, if Lavarro wants to stay in the building being City Hall, he will run for Ward B and try to knock off Miri there. Either way, it's going to be a tough haul for Lavarro to get back to City Hall next year. I remember as a kid, I used to paint in the streets, row A all the way. You know, the prevailing party would normally have row A, row B. Occasionally, when they drew up the numbers, you know, maybe you got C, but very seldom. Getting the party line, and this is the whole thing, that the crux of what they're saying here in New Jersey. Without getting the party line, you don't have a prayer in hell of winning. I think there was a statistic that between 2009 and 2019, there was not one candidate elected who ran offline for a state office. That may be true. But these are the systems that have been in place for a very long time, and they've been successful. What really started this was Nick Sciavolotti was dumped by Mayor Jimmy Davison Bayonne from the HCDO line. In Hudson County, the kings, there's 12 kings, the mayors, they get to pick their assembly people. Some of them. You got the super mayors, I should say. get to pick assembly people. That would be Nick Sacco in North Bergen, Brian Stack in Union City, Mayor Fulop in Jersey City, Jimmy Davis in Bayonne. That kind of, the 31st district is Jersey City and Bayonne. So Mayor Fulop and Mayor Davis each get a pick for an assembly, and they reach a consensus for a state senate candidate. Getting the party line doesn't guarantee you will win. A candidate can win running. Can a candidate win running offline? Yes. In a county election, it happened. In 2014, my buddy Anthony Stick Romano was dumped from the line. Dawn Zimmer was the mayor in Bayonne, Hoboken at that time, and she didn't want Stick. She wanted her own candidate to be a freeholder, and that was Phil Cohen. Stick did not go quietly into the night. He ran offline, and Stick was successful. He beat Mayor Dawn Zimmer's and the ACDO's candidate who had the line, Phil Cohen, who is now a councilman in Hoboken. It can happen. In Jersey City, our elections are nonpartisan. But when Mayor Fulop ran against my old buddy Jerry Healy had the backing of the ACDO. They were all behind Jerry Healy. He had the organization, he had ACDO money, and Jerry was raising money. Fulop was the outsider. Fulop won. And again, there wasn't a line, but he was Mayor Healy was the ACDO candidate. There's a small faction of Hudson County Dems, some committee members, the progressive Dems, I should say, who want to overturn the organization. They can't beat the organization, so if you can beat them, reorganize them. But this is all through the state. What happened to Nick Chevalotti? It's happening in Bergen County. It's happening in Union County. It's happening in Gloucester County. You know, the progressives should start their own organization, their own ACDO, their own Democratic line. Talk to Brian Stack, see how well that worked out for him in 2007. Mayor Cunningham started the Reform Democrats of Hudson County, and he was winning. He knocked out the ACDO candidates. Joe Doria, a friend of mine, there's my old boss man there, Glenn D. Cunningham. He knocked out Joe Doria and all the assembly and state senators with the Reform Democrats. It can happen. You need a superstar to do it. They had that in Mayor Cunningham there. All right, we're going to break the commercial. We'll finish up with this when we come back. You're watching The City Show.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport. Live like you want.
Cutting-edge surgical care is right here in Secaucus.
Robotic surgery is safer.
Shorter hospital stays.
Smaller abdominal incisions, the size of an M&M. Here at Hudson Regional, we provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We're back, City Show here. Let's finish up with the political sword. When you live by the political sword, you will eventually die by the political sword. Glenn Cunningham was making all the inroads. He was beating the establishment's candidates, the ACDO at that time. And unfortunately, Mayor Cunningham, Glenn D., passed on in 2004. Had Glenn not passed away, I think it would be a whole different political landscape here in Hudson County. Because Glenn was winning the battles, and if you win enough battles, you eventually win the war. After Glenn passed away, they didn't have anybody to replace Glenn with the Reform Democrat. You need a superstar. to head up that organization. And Glenn was there for the Reformed Democrats. Now, Brian Stack in 2007, he was a star. Was he a superstar at that point? No. But he ran a ticket, and he ran a good ticket. He won, everybody else lost there. It is very difficult to do unless you got somebody like Glenn D. Cunningham. Just recently in Toms River, there was an organizational problem. The present mayor, Mo Hill, wanted the endorsement of the regular Toms River Republican Club. And they wouldn't give it to him. Joe Coronado got it, and they had a sue to get money for campaigns because he was a member of that club. He just recently organized a new club and had the other one decertified. There are ways to do it, but it starts with small steps. You got to win some offices first, and that's what happened at Toms River. The Hudson County, the Progressive Dems, I don't see them winning any offices anywhere in Hudson County in any time soon, unless they can get a superstar. Can they pick? Maybe they should talk to a Nick Chevalotti, somebody who could be the face of that organization. Maybe they should talk to a Bill O'Day, but probably not going to happen. Bill O'Day is his own organization. He doesn't need Hudson County Democrats or the Hudson County Progressives. O'Day is O'Day. What happened with Nick Chevalotti is happening all over the state. Incumbents get replaced. It happens all the time. There's infighting in Bergen County right now on who's going to run for state senate. There's people I know that they are looking like they're running offline. Can you win offline? Yeah, it can happen. It's expensive. It takes a lot of time. But if you look at someone like Glenn D. Cunningham or Stick Romano, these guys pulled it off. It can happen. But this is an organization that everybody's committed to, all the committee people are, and there's a few people aren't happy with how the organization handles itself and who their leadership is. Go start your own. Take them on head on. Don't try to reorganize it. It's not going to happen. Quick hits. Suez Water in our MUA here and City Hall are all embroiled in this boiling water situation from August. And there was a problem with who should have contacted the citizens of Jersey City about a possible contaminated water situation. Now, there's a lot of finger pointing here. Some people are upset at City Hall. I want to remind everybody, Mayor Fulop lives in the Heights. Where that contaminated water was located by Cross Hospital, he is probably on that same feeder line. His wife and kids are drinking that water and bathing in that water. Believe me, as soon as Mayor Fulop found out about it, you found out about it. Bob Menendez, the bacon guy, the man that brings the bacon, he's the guy who got us that $145 million, and the rest of Hudson County got money too, not just Jersey City getting $145 million. Hoboken, Union, everybody got money, $27,000. I think North Bergen got $17,000. Bob Menendez is returning to Jersey City. When he was a congressman, he had an office on Bergen Avenue. He is returning to have his senatorial office at 3 Harborside and down at the Exchange Place. And Bob's leaving Newark. He's coming to Jersey City, but really the reason he's coming so he can be closer to the IHOP in Union City. And good news. Another sign of the pandemic is easing. Nicholas Sacco was announced, the mayor of North Bergen, has announced that the North Bergen public libraries are now reopening. So it's back to the libraries, get your books, watch some movies, take some lessons, cooking classes. There's everything that goes on in the North Bergen Public Library. I'm out of show. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.